Okay, we're ready to do our first recording. So I'm going to go to my applications folder and open it. Yours are probably going to look a little different than mine, depending on what programs you have installed. So I'm just going to look for the folder that we inserted in the applications folder, and there's Audacity. Click on that, and there's a number of folders in there, but the main one I'm looking for, of course, is this icon that says Audacity. Click on that, and the program's going to load. Okay, the first thing we want to do when it does load is verify that our microphone is actually showing up in Audacity. And as you can see here, my input and output Jabra microphone is installed correctly. So we're good to go there. Now really, you're only going to be working with these 6 buttons here. You really don't have to do anything else with the settings in Audacity. It should come pretty much ready to go. So the first button that's shown here is the pause button. Next button is the play. Next button is the stop. This button is skip to the start, and then this button is skip to the end, and then the actual record button. Now in our recording, I'm going to show you an example of one. I usually start off first and I do a mic check just to make sure when I begin recording that everything is in good shape. So the first thing we want to do is hit the record button, and you can see it opens up a track here, and you can see my voice is actually recording. You can also see here that the red bar here is, it looks good. It's not going past this little end marker here. So it looks like our voice is going to record just fine. And one tip I would give you also is to make sure that your boom mic is just positioned just above your lips and just below your nose. What you're trying to do is eliminate any of the P popping sounds coming through on your recording, and usually by having it away from your lips it will eliminate that popping noise, but you're still getting a good recording, as you can see here from mine. Now in this case, what I would recommend is that rather than use the stop button at the end of this recording, let's do the pause button, which I'll click now. As you can see, the playhead has stopped. It's in a pause. There's the playhead. And the nice thing about this is, let's just say I'd finished the recording of the first slide in my presentation. I'm ready to move to the next slide. I want to take a breath or get a drink of water, just pause for a few minutes. That's all fine, because we can, anything that's in there that we don't want, we can always later edit out as we combine the audio and the video. But by just hitting the pause button, when I resume, we're going to stay in this one track. And I'll show you the difference between pause and stop here in just a moment. But let's go ahead and say we're ready to go to slide number 2. So we just come back up to our icons and we select the pause button again. And by the way, you can also use your space bar as well for the stop start. Click on pause, and where our playhead picks up right at the end of where it stopped, and you can see it's recording again. Now this time, instead of hitting pause, which I would normally do, I'm going to hit stop just to show you the difference. Okay, we've stopped the recording on this track. So now if we decided we wanted to continue on and do an additional recording after this track is completed, we can hit the record button and you'll see it starts another track, but it starts right back at the beginning. So the difference is by using the pause button, we'll always stay on the main track. By hitting the stop and then record, it's going to start another track. Now, this is fine if you were actually doing a voice overlay. Maybe we started off with some music in this first track, for example, and then we wanted to bring our voice in and have it overlay the music. And so we would actually use a second track for that. Now there is occasions where you might want to use the stop button and start recording from the end of another track. To do that, you need to make sure that your playhead is at the end of the current track. So what we would do is hit skip to end. That puts our playhead all the way down here at this track. And now when we hit record, it starts a new track down here, but as you can see, it started at the end of the original track we had begun. So once again, the best way to do this is to just simply use one track and to use the pause button. If you need to get rid of a track like I've got here and I don't want to keep this recording, you just hit the little X button and it's going to delete it. So now we're back up, and I'll click back on this and making it the active track, and I'm going to put my playhead at the end of my last session there.